Hi, my name is Mari Bowie and I'm an attorney at the Nieves Law Firm, and I'm going to talk to you today about how a fraud conviction can affect your immigration status. Now, under the law, there are many different circumstances where your immigration status can be affected, unfortunately, and one of those big categories is the crime of moral turpitude. Now, a crime of moral turpitude can render you inadmissible to get your citizenship, or could render you subject to deportation. And so because of that, it's incredibly important to recognize when a specific conviction is going to render you deportable, inadmissible, or anything like that. Typically, most crimes involving fraud will be a crime of moral turpitude, and that's because a crime of moral turpitude is determined to be something that shocks the public conscience, that's vile, depraved, anything like that. And because the action of fraud requires you to withhold the truth, lie, specifically pick on a vulnerable victim, anything of that nature, it's typically considered a crime of moral turpitude, and therefore a specific fraud charge can severely affect your citizenship status, could render you deportable, and anything of those nature. So it's incredibly important to pay attention to fraud issues because the government does not like fraud. The federal government does not like fraud. The federal government does not want to admit people into their country who has been convicted of anything that has to do with fraud, lying, not disclosing something, anything of that nature, and it's specifically if it has a vulnerable victim. So a fraud conviction can be the end-all be-all for your citizenship status, your deportation status, anything like that. It's incredibly important to see if there are other categories of crimes that you may be able to plead to that do not have those immigration consequences, but a fraud is technically anything typically concerning fraud is a crime of moral turpitude and therefore could have severe immigration consequences. If you find yourself accused of fraud or anything of that nature in general, or if you're facing immigration consequences because of a fraud conviction or fraud charge, please contact the Nieves Law Firm and see how we can help you.